Number 23 is solved by typing the answer into y equals and then pressing second graph, and you want to find which answer matches the table. So for number 1, I would go to y equals. I would type in 3x minus 9. I would hit second graph, and I want to see if this table matches. So I'm going to go up. It says -2, -15. Well, this says -2, -3, so I know that's not right. So I'm going to try B. B says 3x plus 9. This says -2, +3. Well, I want -2, -3. So B is not right. Next is -3x minus 9. This says -2, -3, that's good. -1, -6, that's good. 0, -9, that's good. 1, -12, and 2, -15. So I have a winner. C is my answer. Doing it the opposite way, because sometimes you'll see the opposite. You'll see the equation, and then you got to pick the graph. These are easier because you just got to type in one thing. So I would type in 2x minus 1. We do second graph, and we just want to see which table matches. So it's -2, -5, so it could be A. It's not B. It's not D. It's not E. -1, -3, and 0, -1. So the answer has to be A. Now, if you watch the video and you still miss number 23, I need you to answer the following 5 questions. Here's 1, 2, and 3. And then for 3, clearly it goes A and B, C, and D. So pause it and do 1, 2, and 3. 4 and 5 are right here. Pause it and do these 2. Also, if you missed 23, I want you to write down what you think the correct answer should have been and why you missed it. 24, the way you should do 24. I would type the inequality into my calculator, just like you would if it was an equal sign, and then find the intersection. So that will at least tell me if it's 18 or if it's -18, and then I got a 50-50 shot. So here's how you would do. I'm going to do example 1. 3 minus 2 parentheses x minus 5. And then this is like an equal sign, so I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to go down to 49. I'm going to graph it. Now I only see one of the lines, so I need to zoom out. So I'm going to zoom out, enter. Still don't see it, so I'm going to zoom out one more time. Zoom, 3, enter. There it is. So to find that intersection, you do second trace, you do 5, and you hit enter, enter, enter. So my answer is -18. Alright, so just knowing that rule, I know it's -18. Now I'm going to look. When I distribute this, I'm going to get a -2x, which means eventually I'm going to divide by a negative. And when you divide by a negative, divide or multiply by a negative, you need to flip the inequality. So I know this inequality is going to flip, because eventually I'm going to divide by this -2. So the answer here is A. Alright, let's do this one. 2 parentheses x plus 3. Enter, and then on the other side I got 15 minus x. I'm going to zoom back to normal. Okay, I see the 2 lines, but I can't see where they cross, so I'm going to zoom out. Zoom, 3, enter. Alright, so here we go. Second trace, intersection, enter, enter, enter. So it's going to be at 3. My dot should be at +3. So I know it's not A, because A is at -3. I know it's not B, because B is at -3. So it's one of these 2. Now, here when I distribute, I'm going to get a 2x. And this is a minus x. To move this minus x to the other side, I would do a plus x, right? So on this side, it gives me a 3x. Well, that's not a negative. So my inequality is not going to flip. So let's review the rules for graphing. Remember, if it has the line under it, you shade in the circle. If it doesn't have a line under it, you leave it as an open circle. So, well, both of these have open circles. And then the way you know to graph, I always make them into an arrow. Whichever way your arrow points, that's which way you should shade. so it's going to be C. Let me graph this one for you just to refresh our memories. So this circle would be at negative 18. This one does have the line under it, so you would shade it in. It'd be a closed circle. And again, if you made it into an arrow, it points left, so you would shade left. All right, here's another example. Let's see what number it should just be to start with. So I have negative 2x plus 11. I'm going to hit enter. On the other side I got 27. Let's graph it. Alright, I can see the intersection, so second trace, 5, enter, enter, enter. The answer should be at negative 8. Alright, so I know it's either A or B. Now, this x is a negative, which means I'm going to divide by a negative, which means this is going to flip. So instead of going this way, it should go this way, which means B is the answer. So let's graph that. It's going to be at negative 8. It's going to be a closed circle because it has that line under it. And if I turn this into an arrow, it goes to the right. So that's what that graph would look like. Now, if you watch that video and you still missed number 24, I want you to do the following 5 inequalities. And again, I want to see your work. I want you to write down this problem. I want you to draw, like, well, yeah, I want to, well, no, I guess not if you're doing it the way I just taught you. You can just tell me what number 1 is, what number 2 is. And here's 3, 4, and 5. Also, if you missed 24, write down what you think the correct answer should have been and why you think you missed it.